Hey guys, Brendan. Here is your recap video for this past class, and I'll also include the assignment for today. So the first thing we talked about was how to hold the guitar and how to tune the guitar. So the first thing is that we have the waist of the guitar right here. That should go on your right thigh. When you hold the pick, you should make a plus sign with your thumb and your index finger, and then your pick should slide right in there, and so that your finger is pointing in the same direction as the pick. All right? When you play, you're going to want to make sure that you're playing right over the sound hole here, and that you're not playing by the bridge, because we get a nice full sound here, and a really thin sound there. We want the full sound, not the thin sound. So that's the first part. The second part is with your left hand. We want to make sure that you're playing where you're pressing hard enough with your fingers here. So if you don't press hard enough, what you get is this muted sound, and we call that the mute zone of playing. The next zone, called the buzz zone, is if you're pressing down almost hard enough but not quite hard enough, you get the note, but you also get this buzzing sound in there. If you press hard enough, the buzzing goes away, and that's what we want, is to hear the note and not hear any buzz. So make sure, if you hear the buzz, just press your finger harder, and that'll solve that problem. Also, for the second fret and higher, you want to be playing in the middle of the fret. So not here or here, but in the middle of the fret, because that will be the easiest place to make sure you're pressing down the note hard enough. Okay? So that's for the second fret and higher. For the first fret, the easiest place to play it is just to the right of the center of that fret by a little bit. So do that. Once your fingers are strong enough, it's not going to matter where you have your finger in the fret, but when you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of finger strength for the guitar, then you're going to want to do those things as play in the middle for the second fret and higher, and just to the right of the middle for the first fret. Let's talk about tuning real quick. Right? So when you tune, you're going to go from either start with your first string, right, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, or start from your sixth and tune your strings this way. So I usually start from the first string. There's not a right or wrong answer. I just do it that way. But what you do is you play the note, and the tuner will tell you if it's in tune or not. So, but the first thing is make sure that it's telling you the right note. So your first string should be E, and make sure that it says E and not E flat or E sharp. E flat will be E with a little lowercase b looking symbol next to it. E sharp would be a number sign next to it. So just E, regular E. That's what you want. And once it tells you that that's the note you're playing, you're going to turn your tuner knob here to get the needle of the tuner right in the middle of the screen there to tell you that it's in tune. And then you go to the next string. It should be B. Again, we don't want B flat or B sharp, just B, so no lowercase b sign next to the regular uppercase B that tells you what the note is. That would be B flat, and no number sign next to the B, which would tell you B sharp. We just want regular B. And once it's the right note there, then we make sure that it's in tune. So we adjust that knob while we're playing it to make it in tune. The next one should be G. Same thing. We want G, not G flat or G sharp. And then go to the middle of the tuner. Next one should be D. Right, same thing, not D flat or D sharp, just regular D. Go to the middle. A, not A flat or A sharp, just regular A. Make it go to the middle. And then lastly, E. So we have two E's. Our lowest pitched string here is E, as is our highest pitched string. So make sure you do that. And then once your guitar's in tune, then you're ready to go. Let's talk about the notes that we learned in class. So on the first string, we learned the notes E, F, and G. So E is the open string, which we call strings that we don't press any fingers down. We call those open strings. So the open first string is the note E, and then as we go left to right, they increase alphabetically. So we have E, F on the first fret. We skip the second fret, and we have G on the third fret. So E, F, G. And if we play those backwards, G, F, E. Right, the notes on the next string should be B, C, D. Same deal. Open first fret and third fret, nothing on the second fret. When we put those 6 notes together now, what we're going to do is we're going to have a zigzag pattern, which mimics that typing analogy where we have the cursor on the left side of the screen, and as we type, it goes from left to right, and then once it gets to the edge of the screen, we come back down to the next line and type across again. So that's what we're going to do here. B, C, D, left to right, down to the next string, left to right, E, F, G, again. And if we play the scale the opposite way, going down the scale, what it is it's going to be right to left. It's like we're pressing backspace on that word processor, and the cursor goes from right to left, and when it gets all the way to the left side, it goes up to the next line, back to the right side. So we're going to start from the first string, 3rd fret, and go G, F, E, D, C, B. Those last 3 notes on the 2nd string there, right? Okay, so then we have the notes on the next string, on the 3rd string, we have G, A, and B. So notice that I'm playing the A, so G is the open string, A is the note we have on the 2nd fret, and I'm using my middle finger to play that note, as you should also. And then we're going to use your pinky to play the note on the 4th fret. Okay? Then we have a problem. If we add these 3 notes to our sequence of going up and down the scale, we find that we have 2 instances of the note B, which we don't want. So G, A, B, B, C, D, E, F, G. And we don't want to play both of the B's when we go up and down, and we don't want to pick one of them and not ever play the other one, because then we miss out on practicing that note. So what we're going to do is we're going to play one of the B's as we go up the scale and the other B as we come down the scale. And the way to remember which one it is you're going to play the first B that you encounter. So when you go up the scale, the first B that you encounter is this B here on the 3rd string, G, A, B. So with that in mind, that means that when we go to the next string, we're not going to play the open string, because that's the other B. So when we go G, A, B, we're going to go right to the 1st fret of the 2nd string, C, D. So on the 3rd string we have 3 notes, the 2nd string just 2 notes, and then the 1st string 3 notes again. G, A, B, no open string, C, D, then all 3 notes on the 1st string, E, F, G. One more time, that's G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. When we go down the scale, now again we're going to play the first B that we encounter. So what that means is we come down and we go G, F, E on the 1st string, and we go D, C, B. So now our B is on the 2nd string. We play the 3 notes there. So 3 notes here, 1, 2, 3. 3 notes on the 2nd string, 1, 2, 3. And then now just 2 notes on the 3rd string, 1, 2. So G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G. So when you go up and down the scale, then it's like this. When you go up, it's 3 notes, 2 notes, 3 notes. And then when you come down the scale, it's 3 notes, 3 notes, 2 notes. So going up the scale, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And going down the scale, it's G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G. Now that we have those notes, we can start to play our exercises for this. So we're going to start playing our first 3 versions of Mary Had a Little Lamb. So the first version that we use is only going to use the first 2 strings, the 1st and 2nd strings. And so what we're going to do is we start with E, the open 1st string, and we play E, D, C, D, E, 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 D, 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 E, G, G, E, D, C, D, E, E, D, D, E, D, C. Okay, so one of the things that will really help you to be able to play that is before you start working on the versions of Mary Had a Little Lamb is if you practice going up and down the scale first, so you memorize where those notes are and where you can find them. So do that part first, and then start learning these. Another way that can help with this is if you give the notes of this song numbers, that can help you sort of figure out what to play also. So if we think of the E that we start with, the 1st string E here, as being the number 3, then we have this pattern. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 5, 5. Okay, so that's the first version of Mary Had a Little Lamb. The second version, we use the next two strings now. So what that's going to be is the second and third strings. And similarly, it starts from an open string. It's going to start from the open second string, but this time the notes are a little bit different. It's going to be B, A, G, A, B, 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 A, B, D, D, B, A, G, A, B, 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 A, B, A, G. Alright, so again, this is only using notes that we have on the second and third string. So if you've practiced that scale up and down, then you should have a really solid picture of where those notes are, and it'll help you play it better. And again, you can use those numbers also. If we think of this B, where we start second string B as being the number 3, it's the same thing. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 5, 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 1. So playing it that way, that's version 2 of the song. Playing version 2, we're only using our second string B. For version 3 of the song, now we're going to switch that. We're going to use our third string B, which means that most of the notes of this song will be only on the third string. So in a sense, this is actually the easiest version because everything is just on one string for the most part. So we start from our third string B on the 4th fret there, and we go B, A, G, A, B, 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 A, B, D, D, B, A, G, A, B, 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 A, B, A, G. Or with the numbers, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 5, 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 1. And for that version, the only time that we're not playing on the third string is when we have to go up to the D note, the 3, 5, 5. Then we're going to the D that's on the second string there. So everything else is on the third string, but just that note D is on the second string. One of the things that can actually help you play this is actually trying to do it with your eyes closed. I've been teaching this method of learning the strings and the introductory guitar parts for a long time now, dozens and dozens of lessons doing this, and a lot of students actually can play it better if they close their eyes, because then they're playing only by ear, they're not distracted by this complex maze of unmarked notes here. So that's the case, and then when you submit your video, this is what I want you to do. For the scale, you're going to play it like this, saying the names of the notes and playing it about this tempo. You can go faster if you want, of course, a little bit slower if you need to, but try not to go too much slower than I'm playing it here. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Then down the scale, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G. Like that. And so you have to include that in your video. In fact, that should be the first part of your video, is you doing that. And then also, you'll do the 3 versions of Mary Had a Little Lamb then. So you start with version 1. You don't have to say the names of the notes or anything while you play that. And then the second version, starting from the open B string. That first version starts from the open E string, the open first string. Second version starts from the open second string. Then the third version, we're starting from our third string B. As a last note, make sure that your guitar is in tune before you make your recording, and then also I'm not going to be grading you on this assignment for having good tone for all your notes. They should be pretty good tone, but if you get a little bit of buzzing right now, that's fine. You're going to have to play all these again for the midterm exam, and I will be grading you on having good tone for your notes at that point. But for right now, just make sure that you're getting to the notes quickly enough and that you get a decent sound from them. That's the most important thing. All right, if you have any questions, shoot me an email. I will see you on Tuesday. Bye.